everybody, we're going to talk about how to avoid confirmation bias, which is the reason why a lot of tech startups fail. So let's get started. Let's get into it. We talked already about initial problem hypothesis. We're in video number 2, which is about how to avoid confirmation bias. What is it really? Confirmation bias is very much you have such a strong idea and you're going to try the best that you can to validate your idea. We believe that tech startup, everybody wants it, want to buy it. So we're going to ask questions that will validate the ideas instead of wanting to know the truth, So you want to avoid these things. So confirmation bias is the tendency to process information by looking for or interpreting information that is consistent with one existing belief. So you believe so much that your idea is right, you're going to look for validation instead of looking for the truth. So we're going to avoid that. Anybody remember that product? Remember when Google launched that product? Where is it now? Again, this is part of the maybe confirmation bias that really developed and believed that the product would work. Obviously, never really went very far with it. This is a perfect example where it could have been avoided if the confirmation bias was not applied. All right. So initial problem hypothesis, we talked about it already. So if you haven't watched the first video, go back and watch it. So first thing first, you really need to make sure that you have your customer hypothesis right. Then your customer validation, I'm going to show you that. And then you can build your brand. Quite often I see people coming to us say, yeah, we have a brand. And then I ask them quality in terms of their customer hypothesis or customer validation. They don't have that. So then I have to go backward with them and my team to make sure we get this right. Otherwise, the brand fails. And I'm not going to take the blame for it. Yes, remember that. So let me take you through the journey. So describe your hypothesis. Really, what's your ideology? I don't know if I would use the term ideology, but what do you really believe in? What do you believe that your problem that you're solving for who? And then really develop these assumptions and then, evaluate the risk and then test like crazy and then build something simple. So this is your MVP. Yes, your MVP. And then test this assumption and then analyze everything. Remember, if you bring too early your sales rep, it's going to push your hypothesis without looking for validation and measuring or testing it. This is where at the beginning it should be really something that the founder should be doing as much as possible. So if you follow this process, you do very well. So maybe screenshot this if that helps. All right. So from problem hypothesis statement to customer validation. This is how it looks. You should get to a point where you have a lot of clarity. So your hypothesis statement should be as such. When insert your core task, your core idea, we believe that target customer defined by demographic or behavioral attributes who want key functional performance needs or psychological needs are dissatisfied by existing solutions because of shortcoming in existing solutions or because of constraint confronting customers. So really, this is how you start building your hypothesis statement first, and then you go and test it to see if it's right or not. So really what you want to do is question, and you have questions that you ask and to avoid making those assumptions. Then prioritize really what are the key part of your MVP features that are key. Then work furthermore on your hypothesis and then experiment and learn and build as much as possible. I think there's something so powerful than going with an idea that you believe so much without actually going through question, assumption, prioritize, hypothesis, experiment, and so much more. I hope that helps. And I look forward to see you at the next video for so much more.